talked about some properties on ratio, right? So now moving on forward, what we are going to study today, that is how to compare two ratios, right? And to compare two ratios, we have to convert into equivalent like fraction. So we have an example here. Let's see the example, then you automatically understood this line. Okay, so we have an example here, that is we have two quantities here, that is this one and this one. Basically this is the first ratio and this is the question on the second ratio. Now today's the question is, we have to tell between these two ratios which ratio is greater. We need to tell this, okay, which ratio is greater, and only this thing we're going to study today. Now further, to start further between these two ratios, let's simplify this term. Then you can see that 2 is to 1 by 3. Now clearly this, what we can say, this is called as mixed fraction. I hope you heard this term. Now how to solve it? uh, let me give you an idea. Suppose you have a is to b by c type, then what you have to do to convert the mixed fraction into simple fraction, what you have to do, that simply just multiply c with a and then add b and then divide it by c. Just you have to do this, right? So here we have, that is in place of c what we have 3, and in place of a we have 2. So uh, 2 into 3, that is 6, and plus b, that is 1, and divided by c, that is, we in place of c we have 3. So this will be is equals to 7 divided by 3, right? And similarly, so let me just write here this. So this will be is equals to 7 divided by 3 is 2. Now again we have to multiply 3 with 3, that is 3 3s are 9 plus 1, that is 10. So this will comes out, that is 10 divided by 3, right? Now we know, that is, this can be written as, that is 7 divided by 3 and whole divided by 10 by 3, right? If we have two term a is to b, then how can it also be written as, that is a divided by b, right? So this is in the place of a and this is in the place of b, and we write it here like that. Now clearly this can be written as, that is 7 divided by 3, and we know that when this uh, that is denominator part comes into the numerator, then it will reciprocate, that is 3 divided by 10, that is 3 will cancel out with 3, and we have 7 is to 10, and the simplest form in the ratio is, now we have 7 by 10, as we cannot divide it further, right? So 7 is to 10 is the simplest form of this part. Now similarly we have to find the simplest form of this, that is 3.6 is to 4.8. Now how we can solve this? Again we can write it like that, 3.6 divided by 4.8, right? And we know when we cancel decimal, then it will be divided by 10, and similarly if we cancel for that point here, then we have multiplied by 10 here, right? So 10 will cancel out with 10, or 10 when we divide 10 by 10, then we will get 1, right? Now 36 and 48 we are left with, right? So 36 can be written as, that is 6 into 6, right? And 48 can be written as, that is 6 into 8. Now when we divide 6 with 6, this will come out to be 1, and 1 into 6 divided by 8. And again 6 can be written as, that is 2 into 3, and 8 can be written as, that is 2 into 4, right? So 2 cancel out with 2, and now we are left with 3 is to 4. Now we cannot divide it further, so this is the simplest form we are getting, that is 3 is to 4, right? Now what we have now, that is 7 is to 10 and 3 is to 4. And what we have to do, we have to find which ratio is greater, right? So we have to compare these both ratios, right? Now to comparing both the ratios, what we have to do, we just have to keep in mind that the denominator should be equal. Okay, so just how it can be equal, or how can we do the same denominator? So let's take an LCM of 10 and 4. So let's take an LCM. So this is 10 and 4. So 2 5s are 10 and 2 2s are 4. And so 5, that is 5 ones are 5, 2 as it is. And then we have 2, that is 1 is to 1. When we take LCM, that is multiply it, that is 2 into 5 into 2. This will come out. 2 5s are 10 and 10 2s are 20. Right? This is the LCM we are getting. So that is, we have 7 is to 10, which can be written as 7 divided by 10. Now 20 should be in the denominator, so that uh, we can compare them basically, right? So 10 into 2, will it be 20? So now you must be remember the property number 1. And what's that? That is, both term can be multiplied or divided by the same number, right? Both terms can be multiplied. So if we multiplying with denominator with 2, then we have also multiplied with 2 in the numerator. So this will comes out 7 into 2, that is 14, then divided by 20. Similarly, in this case also we have 3 is to 4. So this can be written as 3 divided by 4. Now what we have to multiply it with 4, so that we can get 20, that is 5, right? Now if we are multiplying in the denominator with 5, so we have to multiply with it in the numerator also, right? So into 5 we have to write also, right? So 3 into 5 is 15, and again 4 into 5 is 20. Now clearly denominator part is equal, you can see that, right? Simply, now what we have to see now to find which ratio is greater. Normally this thing and this thing is equal, right? So what we are left with, that is the numerator part. And you know that that is always, we have what is in the numerator, right? 14 and 15. So this is the normal thing, right? You can easily tell 14 is greater or 15, right? It's 15 is greater. So clearly we can say that this 15 is greater. So we can say that 3 is to 4 is greater than with 14 by 20, that comes from 7 is to 10, right? So this is the simplest thing we need to show, that is, we need to show which ratio is greater, and here we are getting our answer. So I hope you understand the whole thing and the whole process. For better understanding, you need to do practice. You can practice a lot questions, and if you find any difficulty, you can comment down or message me on Instagram later on. Okay, so let's do try, and that's it for the today. Thank you.